What's the worst thing about apartheid?
Ultimately, it's actually when it makes you doubt that you are a child of God.
Born on the 7th of October 1931 in the small town of Klerksdorp in the northwest, Archbishop Desmond Mpilo Tutu went on to become a Nobel Peace Prize Laureate for his leadership in the struggle against apartheid. But it was not before he followed in the footsteps of his father. Affectionately known as the Arch, Tutu obtained a teaching diploma in 1954 before commencing work as a teacher at his former school. He married his wife, Nomalizo Leah Shangani, the very next year.
Very recently, my wife put a placard. It used to be in the bedroom, which said, "You are entitled to your wrong opinion."
After quitting the teaching profession in protest over the Bantu Education Act, which undermined black education, Tutu went on to join the priesthood, going to London to study theology. Following his return to South Africa after a series of international travels, which were disapproved by some, Tutu heightened his fierce criticism of the oppressive apartheid regime. During the process, he helped diffuse tensions in several townships, including Duduza and Alexandra. In 1985, the human rights activist led a group of about 30 of his fellow Anglican clergymen to the Johannesburg police headquarters, demanding the release of political prisoners.
My relationship really was solidified during the years of the South African Council of Churches' resistance to apartheid, and I was the one who was able to nominate Desmond to be the General Secretary of the South African Council of Churches. We stole him from the Anglicans and brought him into the council, and that was one of the best things that ever happened.
Archbishop Desmond is never and was never a politician. He is not in the struggle for liberation. He never was. But he was in the struggle for justice, which is a biblical concept. Therefore, he was and always is in this from a religious, spiritual, theological perspective.
I experienced Desmond Tutu, then bishop, and then archbishop, as a pastor. You know, there are people who are bishops but are not pastors. But he's a passionate person. He cares about human beings and will get out of his way to help people or meet their needs, or, you know, he's that type of person.
In 1990, Tutu was one of the first South Africans to see the late former President Nelson Mandela after his release. After 1994, Archbishop Tutu had no idea he was about to lead one of the most heart-wrenching commissions the world has ever seen, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission.
How did you manage to sit there day after day and hear these stories of terrible things that people had been doing to other people?
It was terrible, but I cry easily. That is, I broke down on the very first day, but I then said it wasn't fair. God, you couldn't allow this to happen.
Tutu has not only received recognition for his work in South Africa, but also for his peacekeeping missions across the world.
We came as elders to encourage the healing of this beautiful nation.
So now, we religious people should follow, like Bishop Tutu, complete austere peace.
I am so grateful for his presence on this earth and his immeasurable contributions to humanity.
Archbishop Tutu has also been a fierce critic of the governing African National Congress.
This government, our government, is worse than the apartheid government, because at least you were expecting it with the apartheid government. Our government, we were expecting that now we would have a government that was sensitive to the sentiments of our Constitution.
In 2019, baby Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor made his much-anticipated royal debut in South Africa, and who better to welcome Archie than the Arch himself. Tutu was also a health advocate, championing the fight against HIV/AIDS, climate change, and most recently, the fight against COVID-19. Tutu made a rare public appearance this year, on October the 30th, when he cast his special vote in the local government elections. It turned out to be his last appearance. Tutu is survived by his wife Leah, their children Mpho, Naomi, Teresa, and Trevor.